So Penny came in here with an open heart. Penny came in here with an open heart, and she thought she was surrounded with other people that were yoked equally with her. Penny came in, she didn't know anything about TM. She linked with TM. She was focused on her own channel, her own awareness. She didn't listen to the people in between. And next thing you know, I have Penny's real number now too. So then that's cool. Like she stepped in front of it and she told me everything that's going on. Now I need you guys to hear this. Penny, she links up with the usual characters. She got ran through the ringer, the factory, right? You got to run through, no thanks, AB. You ever seen the football players and they all got the pads and they hit them? Like, that's what Penny had to do. She had to go through all the fuckery in order to find out, like, what's getting ready to happen to her potentially today, right? So, Penny thought TM was a good person. The Gauntlet, yep. Penny thought TM was a good person. So Penny, in not being, being very naive about the way YouTube works, it's her first case. She just started in August, right? You're going to be so surprised when you find out who her and her people are. Hoo-ah. Hey, literally, hoo-ah. So, TM tricked her and she did what she did to all the people that just started on this case, right? And Penny called TM with her real number. Only TM. Okay? So, when TM and AB started blowing up the spot about the fundraiser and started getting all maniacal and vicious on the people, like, I brought it up and I let it go, right? I talk about it here and there, but it's people that are just obsessively fixated on it, right? So let me tell you this. So the other thing is, so that's how the phone number got out, or it hasn't got out yet. It is out a little bit, I guess, but it might have been controlled in a way that I haven't heard about it or seen it or whatever. So TM got the phone number because she tricked Penny. She tricked Penny into calling with a real number, right? Kind of like I did today. I didn't know what Penny had up. Penny kept calling me. She told me when we talked before, she was like, this isn't my real number. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, she called me on my real number. And that always is kind of a little weird for me. So it's ways you can get around it, right? One of the ways is and I'm going to give it, it's game 101, right? We're going to get to all of this. It's game 101, right? So Penny kept calling and I kept texting and it kept calling. And I said, Penny, like, I'm calling you right now. Your phone app isn't working. And so she's like, oh, well, fuck it. She gave me her number. This is in no way, I done this to show the naivety, the naiveness. I know naivety is not a word. Naiveness. The naive spirit, the pure spirit of Penny. Right? So she gives me her real number, right? Probably kind of the same way Tiffany got her real number, right? It's just an old YouTube trick. You're like, hey man, I can't hear you. Or I'm texting you, or when they call, you don't answer. And they're like, I'm calling, and you're like, I'm not getting it. It's not ringing on my end, right? So you got to try another number. And then they're like, well, fuck it, it's important. And that's the way you can boom, right? So, you quickly find out that people that were calling you from what looked like Android text now, platforms now got iPhones and shit. So you're like, okay, this is your real number. There isn't no way to fake an iPhone number so that I could FaceTime you if I wanted to, right? So TM, let me get this going, right? So TM gets the phone number, right? Mind you, naivety. Penny, who we could also call L. We'll just call her L because I'm not going to do it. That's my homegirl. Penny we'll call L, Penny's short for L. It'll make sense later if it goes on. I hope it doesn't. Right? AB finds out. AB finds out. Penny got bit on her ankle by a dog. Her own dog. Nonetheless, I've been bit by my own dog, so I didn't find that out of the sorts. And she said, so AB reaches out to her and is like, hey, I've got some healing salve. I want to send it to you. Penny still hadn't been burnt up yet. So Penny's like, sure, AB, here's my real address. Because Penny didn't have no reason to worry about nobody, right? At all. And this is going to start to make sense. This is very clever. So AB, no, Penny does not indulge. Penny thought that it was standard CBD, right? Now, giving your address is not like, you know, like he could have found her address, right? So he sends her some salve, right? But when it hits Penny's door, doesn't have no return address. It comes from a P.O. box, hoop-de-dee, hoop-la, right? She opens the shit up. She's like, wow, this shit has THC in it. So now, if you're hanging with me, you now understand that TM, this is the new thing that's gonna happen. TM got the phone number. AB has the address. These fools, this man is dealing on a YouTube. Oh yeah, right? Penny still has the salve untouched, right? If it goes sour, I'm instructing her to take it untouched. She used it one time and she smelled it and was like, oh no. She has very high suspicions that it has THC in it. That's all I know about that. I'm not going to go any further about how she believes it's got THC in it. Could be partly about the way it came, okay? So, Penny's got the salve, AB. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, AB, that she's agreed to go to the police with the salve. I could never say that. I could tell you that I've advocated to her to do that. She doesn't say anything one way or another about, oh, yes, no. So we have the salve. Now, AB and Tiffany, they create an email. Now, I don't like Scott, right? I wouldn't piss on Scott if he was on fire, but I won't lie on the man. Hoo-ah? So, somebody creates an email that is Scott has thoughts. That's not Scott H's email. Okay? So they send an email over to Chase 423. Chase opens the email and he's like, holy shit. This is Penny's address. This is her fucking everything about Penny. This is her verbatim. And she'll say it on her live because she's going to do a live too. Penny said verbatim, they had everything except for my social security number. In the email that they sent to Chase. Ooh-ah. The substance of the email is this. Scott H sends to Chase. There was a chain in there, right? It went through a few things. Now, what they're passing around is that Penny's been calling the police and the CPS on me. And that Benny needs to get this information so that he can dox Penny. And so it went to Chase. Chase doesn't know what's going on, and so he's like, well, fuck. He says, the story, I believe, L. sends it to Lizzie. I'm assuming Lizzie read through the junk mail, was like, this is bullshit. What they wanted to do, TM and AB created a whole scenario to try to sick me on Penny. Penny has a pack of pups. We'll just say it that way. Trying to